So in one day, one person can handprint 20 t-shirts. How many t-shirts can two people handprint in one day? Can you form an equation to show the calculation? So it should be pretty obvious that if one person can make 20 t-shirts, then two people can make 40 t-shirts. Because you've got twice as many people, you can make twice as many t-shirts. Can we form an equation to show the calculation? Well, the t-shirts printed generally is going to be 20 multiplied by the number of people, which makes sense. If we have 3 people, we're going to have 60 t-shirts. 4 people will have 80 t-shirts. It makes sense. And for the second one, in one day, one person can paint 2 walls. How many walls can 5 people paint in one day? Well, if one person can paint 2, then 5 people will be able to paint 5 times as many. So 5 times 2, we should be able to paint 10 walls in one day. And the equation to show that calculation would be the number of walls painted is equal to 2 times the number of people, based on the information in the question. Now, this right here is what's called direct proportion. So the t-shirts printed are proportional to the number of people. That's what that symbol means. It means proportional to. T-shirts printed is proportional to the number of people. And we can say the same thing about the walls painted and the number of people. Both are proportional to each other. So how do we write this formally? If in one day, one person can print 20 t-shirts, let's do this in a formal way. The number of t-shirts printed is proportional to the number of people. When one increases or decreases, then the other variable will increase or decrease as well. So if one goes up, the other goes up as well, which makes sense because more people can print more t-shirts, less people can print less t-shirts. So as one goes up, so does the other. If one goes down, so does the other. This is called direct proportion. When one goes up, the other goes up. That means they are directly proportional to each other. And we can write that as an equation like this: y equals kx, where k is a constant, a proportionality constant. It's just a number. Y equals a number times x. So in our case above, if y is the number of t-shirts we can make and x is the number of people, then y is equal to 20x. Okay? Because y is the number of t-shirts. If one person can make 20 t-shirts, then the number of people multiplied by 20 is the number of t-shirts. So that proportionality constant k, or in this case 20, represents the number of t-shirts that one person can make. And it's just what number you have to multiply by to get from one to the other. Another way of representing this is think that if one person can print 20, they're in the ratio 1 to 20. So 2 people could make 40. So it works in a really similar way to ratio. And you often get tables like this when you talk about proportionality. So if one person can make 20 t-shirts, 2 people could make 40. 3 people could make 3 times 20, which is 60. 4 people could make 4 times 20, which is 80. And 5 people could make 5 times 20, so 100. Okay? So what I'd like you to do is have a go at filling in these tables then. You can pause now and have a go. Okay, so you should have had time to try this out. So if in one day one person can make 5 hats, then y, the number of hats made, is equal to 5x, where x is the number of people. The number of hats is 5 times the number of people. So if the number of people is 2, then the number of hats is 5 times 2. If the number of people is 3, the number of hats is 5 times 3. So we should have got this as an answer. For the second table, we have a ratio of 1 to 8, or y equals 8x. So we should have a table that looks like this with y equals 8x. For the next one, we have in 1 hour, 2 people can make 20 cupcakes. Well, that should be that one person then would be able to make 10 cupcakes in an hour. So 4 would make 40, 8 would make 80, 16 would make 160. You can see that the number of cupcakes is 10 times the number of people, so y equals 10x. And finally, in one day, 4 people can paint y rooms. So if the number of people is 4, if the number of rooms is 2, then 2 people are going to be able to paint 1 room. 1 person would be able to paint half a room. 8 would paint 4 rooms. 20 would paint not 8, but 10 rooms. So we have the number of rooms is equal to 0.5 times by the number of people, which is x in this case.